It all comes down to a single defining moment. When will America finally find out which artists made it into the top 6? After months of blind auditions, battles, knockouts, playoffs, and eliminations that will absolutely blow your mind, the competition has finally reached its conclusion. A lineup that is full with powerful voices, genre-bending risk-takers, and emotive storytellers who have continually pushed the bar higher each week has been the result of The Voice Season 28, which has provided one of the most competitive lineups in years. The surviving hopefuls have been counting on one thing that has the potential to change everything: the vote of the American people. This is because only one artist from each coach is guaranteed a spot in the concluding round. This vote is about to become more significant than it has ever been before. The journey to the championship game this season has been one that is both exciting and unpredictable. Fans have seen Reba McEntire, Niall Horan, Michael Bublé, and Snoop Dogg assemble some of the most powerful teams in the history of the program. Each of these individuals has discovered breakout artists who are capable of effortlessly leading a national tour that they have created. Now that the playoffs are coming to an end and the live finale is drawing near, the question regarding when the results of the playoff voting will ultimately be disclosed is becoming more pressing. The response is going to reveal itself very soon, and the level of suspense is at an all-time high. The last 4 are set, but there are 2 more spots that will completely alter the future. A grueling playoff round has resulted in 4 artists, 1 from each coach, having already claimed their coveted spot in the live finale, which will take place the following week. These finalists are the final picks made by the coaches, the artists who they believe possess the voice as well as the emotional depth necessary to win the competition and take home the crown. The performance, however, unexpectedly delivered a twist that immediately enthralled the audience. The United States of America will vote through 2 extra artists to complete the top 6. This last-minute save is now the decisive factor in determining whether or not fan-favorite artists will continue to compete. It is arguable that Jazz McKenzie, who was chosen by Michael Bublé, has emerged as the most successful vocalist of the season. There was a remarkable level of excitement with which Bublé lauded her, referring to her as the best vocalist I've ever heard on this show, and drawing comparisons between her and Barbra Streisand, Aretha Franklin, and Celine Dion. On The Voice, comments such as that are not taken lightly, and Jazz's performances have almost always lived up to the expectations that have been set for them. An outstanding performer on Reba McEntire's show One Chair Turn, Aubrey Nicole, is demonstrating that one's lowly beginnings do not dictate one's destiny. Through emotionally charged and narratively focused performances, she has fought her way to the last round. "I just want to tell the story with my voice," she stated, and week after week, she has delivered exactly what she had promised to do. The natural tone and astounding maturity for a 20-year-old that Aiden Ross possesses have set him apart, which is why Niall Horan chose him. Horan, a former champion who is skilled at recognizing talent, praised him as the most promising artist he has ever trained. This is excellent praise from someone who has won before. Furthermore, Snoop Dogg was successful in securing Ralph Edwards, a soulful powerhouse whose performance of Donny Hathaway's A Song for You came dangerously close to putting an end to the competition. Ralph is strong enough to deal with anybody on the other 3 teams, according to Snoop, who lauded his incredible voice and stressed that Ralph is strong enough. As those 4 artists prepare to compete in the live finale, the remaining artists are completely reliant on the United States of America to ensure that their ambitions are realized. Consequently, when will viewers find out who is able to secure the 2 final spots? In the event that you are eagerly checking social media for spoilers, you need not bother doing so because the show is keeping this disclosure a closely guarded secret. The long-awaited response will at long last be revealed at the very beginning of the very first live show, which will be broadcast on NBC on December 15 at 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. When that moment arrives, the complete lineup of the top 6 for Season 28 will be determined. To put it another way, the United States of America will find out who they have saved the moment the live show begins. No warm-up, no introductions, and no cliffhangers that are drawn out until the very end of the program are going to be included. When the announcement is made, it is immediately followed by the beginning of the broadcast, which guarantees that millions of people's hearts will be beating simultaneously across the nation. From that point forward, the stakes immediately become significantly more important. Official voting will begin as soon as the episode that aired on December 15 comes to a close. providing viewers with a limited opportunity to show their support for their preferred candidates. In order to take part, viewers are required to register by downloading the Voice app or visiting nbc.com/voiceavote. And here's the most surprising twist of all. The winner of Season 28 will be revealed the very next night, on December 16th. It appears like the final race will be one of the most competitive races in recent memory, an inside look at the emotional playoff decisions made by coaches. A roller coaster of emotions was brought about by the playoffs, not just for the candidates, but also for the coaches, who had to make judgments that were extremely difficult to make. It appeared as though Snoop Dogg was giving a farewell speech to his entire team, which included Yoshihana, Ralph Edwards, Mindy Miller, and Tony Loreen. Snoop Dogg was genuinely touched with emotion. As he realized the weird path that they had traveled together, he thanked them for having faith in him. The statement, "This is merely the beginning," was made by him before he disclosed his decision. According to Snoop, Ralph Edwards was able to secure the position as a result of his dogged determination, impressive showmanship, and the spirit of music. There was no denying the emotional significance of the moment. Ralph, who was feeling overwhelmed, expressed that he had the impression that he was receiving yeses that he had never dreamed were possible. In a similar agonizing situation, Niall Horan was forced to make a decision with his team, which consisted of DEK of Hearts, Aiden Ross, Kirby, and Avanat. Although Horan said that the selection was extremely painful, he was aware that the person who would be his finalist must be someone who is capable of going the distance. He referred to this as his best team across the board. Niall stated that Aiden is at ease when he is speaking in his own voice. The fact that this individual is only 20 years old and possesses such a gift is very terrifying. With a sense of modesty and thankfulness, Aiden expressed his appreciation to Niall for recognizing something exceptional in him. The other two seats in the coach's playoff are still up for grabs, which means that the remainder of Niall's team, along with every other competitor, still has a chance to make it to the final round through the votes of the American people. The new format for Season 28 has more stakes, quicker eliminations, and more unexpected outcomes. The pacing has been reworked, which is one of the reasons why this season feels more dramatic than the seasons that came before it. The producers are putting a strong emphasis on suspense by announcing the results of the playoff at the very beginning of the live show. This is a strategy that maximizes both excitement and surprise. What does the accelerated time frame imply? Less time is available for artists to get themselves ready for the possibility of moving on. In a short amount of time, coaches will need to transition from mentoring to plan strategies for live final performances. The voting window for viewers is getting shorter, which increases the sense of urgency and participation. Now more than ever, every performance bears a greater amount of weight, due to the fact that the conclusion of Season 28 will be broadcast the very following night after voting begins. It is quite possible that it will be one of the most action-packed conclusions to the show's history. An overview of what to anticipate from the live show reveal on December 15. It is the commencement of the broadcast that will determine the mood for the full week of the finale. The atmosphere in the studio will definitely go from one of celebration to one of emotion in an instant as Carson Daly makes the announcement that 2 artists have been selected by the American people to be in the top 6 of the competition. It is anticipated that the live show will include all of the remaining finalists turned in performances that were high stakes, responses and rehearsals that take place behind the scenes, mentors and their artists engaging in strategic planning. A level of productivity that is intended to match the tension that is present during the final week, because Jazz McKenzie, Aubrey Nicole, Aiden Ross, and Ralph Edwards have already been confirmed. The addition of the 2 artists that were chosen by the American people will have a significant impact on the competitive dynamic. Do viewers have a preference for underdogs, performers who define their genre, feelings that go viral? On the other hand, emotional favorites that have intriguing histories? At the very moment that the live show starts, the answer will become crystal evident. One night, one winner, and one moment that will permanently alter your life. The finale on December 16. Only one artist will be proclaimed the winner of The Voice Season 28 once voting in the competition has concluded and all of the finalists have performed their final songs on stage. This season has featured some of the most nuanced vocalists and interesting personalities in recent years. The coaches are stacked with star power, including Reba McEntire, Niall Horan, Michael Bublé, and Snoop Dogg, among others. Whether the victor is a seasoned vocal technician like Jazz McKenzie, A soulful storyteller like Aubrey Nicole, a natural talent like Aiden Ross, or an emotional powerhouse like Ralph Edwards, the finale is sure to be a dramatic duel that will be remembered for generations to come. Answer to the final question: when will the results of the playoffs be revealed? At the very beginning of the live show that will air on December 15 at 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. on NBC, viewers will be informed of the results of the playoff vote. Immediately following the broadcast of that show, voting will begin, and viewers will have a limited amount of time to select who will emerge victorious in Season 28. On the 16th of December, the winner will be revealed, bringing this anxious season to a stunning conclusion.